And we talked about it yesterday, but the big return of Kevin Durant. And what a return it was. I
You
mean,
were
they
sweating
blasted.
it. You thought there was something wrong with him because he didn't play.
He didn't play the first 16 minutes almost.
He didn't start. Oh, he still hasn't played.
That.
Right,
Although
and then
I think
all of a sudden he came out and he looked like a house on fire.
I think he should have started. But it's not a big deal. But remember Allen Iverson used to make a big deal out of that. Come back from injury. I should start. And but yeah, he played great, Rob. 17 points in 19 minutes.
Didn't miss a shot.
Yeah, nothing. Well, Rob, 17 points on 5 shots. Think about that.
That's incredible.
That is incredible. He had a 118 a 118 true field goal percentage. 118. That is like 60 and above is really good. The leader this year is 73% true field goal percentage. And that, a lot of that's based on free throws and 3-point shots. But 118? Think about Rob. If he went 5 for 5 from 3, he wouldn't have had 17 points.
Right.
So that's how good he was. And Rob, in the 19 minutes he was on the court, I don't know if you saw these numbers, their offensive rating was 143.
It was so easy when he was out there because you had to respect him. He was making passes to people, Chris. I know he had 7 rebounds. He wasn't tentative.
5 dimes.
He had 6 turnovers. The only thing is he had a couple times where he passed the ball, was deflected for a turnover. Right. He was a little sloppy with the basketball, but I watched his entire stretch once he came in the game, and I thought he looked spectacular. I thought if you're one of the other teams in the East or the Lakers or the Clippers or anybody with hopes, you're looking at him saying, if this guy's healthy and they get Harden back, I don't know. I mean, he looked great. I don't know what else to say. He looked great.
Rob, if everybody's healthy, Durant, Harden, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, if everybody's healthy, there's still only one team that can beat the Nets.
The Nets.
The Nets. That's it. It's going to have to be some type of implosion. Kyrie's in the wrong state of mind. DeAndre Jordan's upset about his minutes. Durant wants to, buck the system and start scoring too much or shooting too much, or just lack of familiarity, which we don't think will be a problem. Those are the only, basketball-wise, they're going to roll. They're going to roll.
We saw Blake Griffin last night too, Chris. I mean, how did he look to you in the 15 minutes he played? I mean,
had a nice dunk, had a throwback dunk. He's looking good, and so is Aldridge. Aldridge had 22 points because, Rob, first they look relieved that they don't have to carry the team.
Right.
Which they both have
I
done.
totally agree with that. There's a big difference between you're the big dog, and now all I got to do is just go out and play and put up my numbers. We're gonna win. Those guys over there will make sure we win, and all I got to do is do my part and come out. That's it.
Right.
Easy.
And look, they were good. They were really good lead men. They weren't good enough to lead you to a championship, but they were legit. I mean, they were perennial all-stars, so nothing away from them. But now, with, as you said, the 3 guys drawing so much attention, even if it's just 2 of them, it's going to be fun and easy for those guys, as well as the other role players. But, Rob, KD, we know he has his podcast, and he had his Draymond Green, his buddy, still buddies after the big blow-up in Golden State a couple years ago.
He wouldn't be on my podcast. Oh, I'm sorry.
Would you be like it's over, like we ain't cool no more? That'd be like, say, me and you had that situation. Not to put it out there like that, but would you be done with that guy?
It would. There are situations and circumstances that you would be done. It would have to be. In that case, I don't know. I just thought Draymond, that was extreme to do that, and do it publicly. Yeah, but it publicly too. Like, we didn't have you know what I mean? Like, I thought that was extreme.
He said that to LeBron too in the finals, and obviously they're cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess people, everybody's different. I don't know. It would have to be, I'd have to really feel like somebody really was trying to do something against me. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like it would have to be like that.
But anyway, they talked about, there's this myth, this urban legend out there that after they lost to LeBron and dropped the 3-1 lead to lose the finals in 2016.
You mean when Steph led the choke? Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, but whatever. You mean, no, I mean the one a few weeks after Durant led the choke, or a year, after Durant led the choke in the conference finals. But anyway, Draymond, in tears, called KD from his car in the parking lot. That's the myth. Draymond and KD said it really wasn't like that. Here they are on KD's podcast.
From my end, we sent some text on some just, yo, I seen that. You seen that? I bet. That's really what it was, bro.
That's exactly what it was. And like,
it wasn't like no urgent FaceTime call. Like, it was just like exactly what I just said. Like, yo, you seen what just happened? Bet. All right, I'm on the way.
Wow. I'm on the way.
Yeah, but even that's the frustration of listening to players talk to other players. That's just my public service.
You're saying that could be a little fudging of the truth?
Yeah, Chris.
It don't make KD look bad if Draymond was crying. It's actually a little better.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, and then they don't really say it. It's always like whenever you listen to guys talk, it's always like it kind of inside. They know what they're talking about. And they really don't come out and say it. I just say it. That's the frustrating part. Because he didn't say really what happened.
Right.
Well, you see that? And I just said, all right, you see that? All right, I'll be there. I'm on my way. Right. What does that mean?
A reporter would have been like, all right, so Draymond, you weren't crying.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Okay, because that's what's out there. That you were crying.
You were crying and you called them from the parking lot and – you had Kleenex in one hand and your phone in the other. Is that what went on? Paint the scene for me. You know what I mean? Like I would.
And KD was acting like at that moment it was a done deal, wasn't it?
Right.
Because why'd you go through all these meetings with the Clippers and all these other teams if it was it done at that moment? Did you? You're right.
It just seemed like a.
That's why you need reporters, y'all.
Yep.
That's just letting you know. That's why you need reporters. You got a much bigger, fuller picture of this. But let's throw it. I want to throw this out, Rob, because Durant still, and we heard it from none other than the great Walt Frazier, but there's others that have this mental or imaginary asterisk by his 2 championships. A lot of people felt like, Rob, when he went to Brooklyn, it was to prove, okay, I can do it without this super stacked squad, and they feel like, well, now, heck, that's out the window. I want to throw this at you first. Is Kevin Durant better off having gone to Golden State? Forget being in Brooklyn if they went to, is he better off that he made that move, or would he have been better staying in OKC?
I don't know. If they would have won, if they won in OKC, then it would have been, to me, even bigger. Whenever you start something and you can complete it without going to get help, I just think it looks better. It doesn't mean that. And then the other thing that helped him is that he was the finals MVP both years. So it wasn't like, he went to the Warriors. It was Steph's team. Steph won the next 2. It was all about Steph, and he was the side piece. I think it helped that he was the MVP in the finals just for himself. But I think if he would have stayed in OKC and delivered a championship to that franchise after being, drafted with Seattle and then the moving to OKC, I just think it's a better story. That's all. There is no question.
I do agree with you. Now, we don't know if he would have won, right? We have no
Right, I'm saying
idea.
If he would have won, that story's better.
Had he stayed there and won one, because he only won 2. I mean, I don't want to say it like to diminish 2.
Well,
but
2 out
he
of
didn't
3
win
years.
3.
Right,
There's a big difference between a 3-peat, which has only been done, Rob, 3 times since Bill Russell. Twice by Jordan and once by Shaq and Kobe. So had the Warriors 3-peated, to me, that would have been more valuable than one championship in OKC. But I'll give you that one in OKC small market, new market, moving from Seattle. His own team, because even though he was the best player, I'll contend it was Steph's team. I think Steph was the most important player on that team. But I think one in OKC would have been more higher regarded than the two in Golden State. And like you said, there obviously wouldn't be any thought of an asterisk. And had he just left this year or 2 years ago to go to Brooklyn, it would have been like he's coming there kind of like Kyrie. Like nobody looks at Kyrie. Okay, they might want to say he wasn't the leader of that team. It was LeBron's team, but still, he hit the huge shot. He was the point guard, so you don't usually expect the point guard to be necessarily the main scorer and all that. So nobody looks at Kyrie, though, and shoots down his one ring. And
especially because he had that big shot. It was a big comeback. It's hard to take that away from him. Do you know what I mean, Chris?
Absolutely. Like he was huge. They don't win that without Kyrie.
Right.
Simple as that. So in that regard, I do think but I think he would have been better if we're imagining had he won in OKC. But I don't know that they would have, Rob. I mean, they had their chance that year. They blew it up 3-1 on Golden State. And they always had problems with Cleveland anyway. Like LeBron dominated KD, Cleveland, OKC. I think it was 17-4 or something in regular season matchup. So I don't know that they could have beat Cleveland. I don't think they would have. So I think all things considered, we don't know that he would have won in OKC. He's better off as much as people want to, it's an asterisk. It was Steph's team. He didn't prove he could lead a team. He's still a two-time champion. He's got the monkey off his back. And to your point, Rob, he was the finals MVP.
Right.
And
that
so
helps.
Can you imagine if Kevin Durant right now, if he didn't have a title? Like, he'd be under immense pressure. So I think all of that's gone, even with the talk, all of that pressure's gone. So I think he still was better off making the move. Because even as people want to put an asterisk there, nobody disrespects his game. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Nobody disrespects that. So, but the interesting thing is, this year, will it take away from many people that imaginary asterisk? Let's throw this out to the listeners. Is KD better off having gone to Golden State? And with this stacked team in Brooklyn, will this kind of erase that asterisk from the mentally that some people put on his championships if Brooklyn goes ahead and wins it this year?
All right, let's kick it off with Tony in D.C. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Tony?
Fellas, what's good? Always a pleasure. Hope all is well in your lives.
Sir. Yes, bro.
I never personally put an asterisk next to Durant because he went to Golden State and instantly became the best player. And it's an interesting thing about Durant is, and Chris has said this many a time, Kevin Durant is so uniquely skilled, he can fit into any system.
Yep.
Right.
And still be the best player, but not overshadow everybody else.
Right.
Where LeBron goes, he becomes the system.
Right.
Look,
Kevin Durant
let's put
needs
it
to
this
be.
way. If LeBron was with Brooklyn, I mean, look, they'd be ridiculously great, but it'd be a whole lot tougher adjustment for everybody.
Yeah, because if you put Durant with that same team with Bosh and Wade, or with Love and Kyrie, I don't think Bosh and Kevin Love become these perimeter just spot-up shooters.
Right.
I think he's so good. You can put him in any kind of offense. He's not a liability on defense. So, I mean, he's a back-to-back MVP. He took all the big shots. I mean, there's no asterisk. We need to appreciate this man for the best pure hooper of his generation. That's all I got to say.
Better than LeBron? Hello?
Did we lose Tony?
He hung up after that because he knew. Slow down. He's great. And I know Robbie put pure hooper. So I think he's trying to, couch it like, just skills, shooting the basketball, that. But no, come on. He's great. He's not better than LeBron.
Zach in Detroit. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Zach?
Hi, how you doing?
What
What's
up?
man?
I'm doing good. Yeah, long time listener. Don't really get to call, but I really appreciate you guys for the show. You guys put a great perspective, and you guys really got me through this pandemic. Just the radio got me into radio. So I just wanted to
Man.
thank you real quick.
Zach,
Thank you,
we
brother.
appreciate that. Where in
Yes, we
Detroit?
do,
Where in
man.
Detroit are you, Zach?
Southfield.
Southfield. I lived in Southfield. You know that, right?
Yeah, I've heard.
12 Mile.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I lived on 12 Mile,
Okay.
right there. Yeah.
That's great.
He left his
Absolutely.
mark, supposedly, Zach.
Who, me in Detroit?
Yeah, that's what
The
I
people
hear
in Detroit
from
know
you.
who I am. I spent 20 years there, Chris. All right, go ahead, Zach.
Anyways, so my point with Kevin Durant is that, so if you do have an asterisk, this year's championship wouldn't help that because in a lot of people's eyes, this is still a super team. So,
But hold
like,
on.
I
Let me say
understand
this.
that-
Let me say this, Zach.
No, yeah.
All right, here we go. Stay on the line. Okay, so he comes back. He wasn't playing. He leads the Nets to the championship. He won the Finals MVP. The Nets had never won a championship before they got there. Yes, you're right. It's a super team or assemble, but they did trade to get Harden. It was supposed to be Kyrie and him, and they traded and gave away pieces to get the third piece. The other two guys were cut and were free agents to sign. I mean, it's a little different. A little different.
Here's
One
what
thing
I'll
I'd
say,
say,
Rob.
though-
I wouldn't. Go ahead, call it. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Zach.
Like with Blake Griffin and Aldridge, like, yeah, you can say they're washed, but their IQ is on a different level than role players, you know?
Yeah.
And you can see the way they
Nobody's
play.
denying. It's stupid to deny it's a super team. And Rob wasn't saying that. Like, nobody would deny this is maybe the ultimate super team. So
Right,
that's
but it was just constructed differently is what I was saying.
yeah, which I mean, it's still a super team. Here's what I'll say, Rob. Will this championship, assuming they win it, even if he's finals MVP, will it like elevate his all-time status from what, I don't know, 13, 14, whatever you got him, 15? No, I don't think so. But it won't hurt it. Nobody's demoting him because, look at all that they got. You know what I mean? Like, I think he probably stays around where he's at. But here's the thing, Rob. Even if he gets to like 4 rings
Or 5. What if they win 3 in a row?
if they win 5, like even if they win 3 in a row, because even though you are stacked, you still have to go and deliver. The Miami Heat were stacked, and they didn't
only
win
won
3 in a
2 out of
row.
4, right?
Right. So 2 or 3, then I think he can still start elevating even as the team is stacked.
Hey, Zach, appreciate the call and the support. Hey, what about Drew in New Jersey? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Drew?
How you guys doing? So I got
What's
a
up,
couple
man?
names I want to bring out. Christian Iyenga, J.J. Hickson, Luke Jackson, and Shannon Brown. What do they all have in common? What do they all have in common? They were
We
all
ain't got all
from
night, so go ahead.
Yeah, from 2004 to 2010, they're all the Cleveland Cavaliers' first-round picks. All I'm saying is, how can you honestly compare LeBron's situation to, what the situation in Oklahoma City? If you're hitting on back-to-back 3 drafts in a row, OKC hit on players? Not one of those players Cleveland hit on.
So
you
what
look
do
at
you?
the
What is your
situation-
point? What is your point?
My point is he didn't need to leave. KD didn't need to leave. He had a good situation. You can win. Like Jason
He had a
Judge is
better
saying. You guys are
team.
saying
He had a
can play with
better
anybody,
supporting
right?
cast.
There's
than
no
LeBron.
doubt he had a better
Yeah,
supporting
there's no
cast,
doubt.
but we'll agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But he didn't have
And
the same
he
team.
didn't get it done in OKC.
Right.
He didn't get it done. There's nobody's denying that. All right.